we're going to find some angles today. So in order to do this, you have to know two sides. It tells you right here. If you know two sides, you can find the angle. So yesterday we had the angle and we had one side, and then we found the other, like another missing side. Today we've got two sides. We're going to find an angle. All right. So it says using inverse sine, find angle F. Yeah, there's lots of examples here. I don't know if we need to do all these. We'll just, yeah, do this. So what we're going to do is we are going to circle F real quick, and then we're going to label the two sides. So first label the hypotenuse. The longest side is the hypotenuse. 10 is the opposite. We're using sine, or like inverse sine on this one. So let me show you guys how to get to that. You're in your calculator, you're going to click the blue button, and then you're going to click sine. And what's going to happen is this is going to pop up. Sine, it looks like sine -1 and then an open parentheses. Okay? So it's the blue button, second, and then sine. So it's going to be like inverse sine. Just make sure you have that on your calculator. Also, well, we'll see if you get the right answer, but your calculator needs to be in degree. If you get something crazy when we're doing this, you'll need to click mode and then highlight degree, press enter, and then clear, and it'll go back. But mode, degree, enter, clear. We'll make sure it's in the right mode. Next, all right. So sine is still opposite over hypotenuse. So your steps are to label the triangle and then put the numbers in the parentheses. Your O over your H. That's what gets typed in. Isn't that so much easier than yesterday? That's literally all you do. And I think a lot of times it wants you to round to the nearest whole number. Actually, let me check. Yeah, so this is one of these where make sure you know how to round. So it's 25.77. You want to round to the nearest tenth. So you look at this number and you're like, okay, that number is either going to remain a 7 or it's going to get bumped up to an 8. It gets bumped up to an 8 if the second number, so the number after it, is 5 or bigger. So since that's a 7, it bumps it up to an 8. You get 25.8 degrees. That's what you would like type into delta. So for cosine, you're going to circle your angle, which all of these are angle F. And you've got A and you've got H. So I have, how do I know that's my adjacent side? Because it touches angle F. Notice this one does not touch angle F. That's why it's the opposite. This one touches angle F. So we're going to use cosine because we have A and H. Inverse 15 over 32. So things we're not doing today. We're not multiplying. We're not dividing. We are literally just typing it into the calculator. So all you're really doing is determining, it's 62.0. But you could just write 62. You're just determining, am I using sine, cosine, or tangent inverse? That's all you're doing today. All right, A, oh, that's not A. What am I doing? That's O, yeah. All right, 6 is O because it's on the opposite side of the triangle. 25 is A because it is a leg, so it's not the hypotenuse, but it touches or is right next to angle F. So we're going to use tangent this time because we do not have the hypotenuse. We only have O and A. Tangent inverse of 6 over 25. And you just type it in the calculator, that's it. Tangent inverse, 6 over 25. Yes. We are like almost done with this. And so yes, in just a second. So it's 13.5. All right, so it's called the inverse. You're gonna use the inverse function to find the indicated angle. We're not gonna do all these. Let's see how many we wanna do. Let's just do 4 through 6, okay? So I'll do 4 with you. You're gonna do 5 and 6 on your own. And then we'll just see if you know how to do it or not. So ideally, you will. So we're going to label this first, but only the ones that are given, just like yesterday. So A and O. And then we're like, okay, we don't have H. So we look back up here. Tangent. Tangent inverse, because you're looking for the angle. Inverse means angle. Tangent inverse of 51 over 23. Typically, if somebody misses these, they either mix up the numbers, and they don't do O over A, or they pick the wrong thing. Those are really the only two mistakes that I see. So 65.7. All right, I'm going to pause my screen. I want you to do number 5 and number 6. All right, I'm going to walk you guys through this. Sine inverse, 43 over 48. There is the answer. Cosine inverse, 30 over 35. So I'm using cosine because it's A and H. Basically, if you cannot label, that's why labeling was so important. That's all we did really on Monday, is just label the triangles. Because if you're not able to label these, you're really going to struggle and not be able to do this. But I feel like this is enough examples. Yeah, so